Welcome to a new video tutorial here on our AFprints&crafts channel. On this occasion, I bring you this Batman bust created by B3D Cirque Studios. If you're interested in acquiring this model, you'll find the corresponding link in the video description down below. Without further ado, let's get started with this tutorial. Let's start by painting the heads of our sculpture. To do this, we will use our three main colors. For the base, the flesh color from the Airbrush Colors brand. For our shadows, we will use red terracotta from the Vallejo brand. And finally, we will use pale flesh color, also from the Vallejo brand. With our airbrush, we will start by using our base color, ensuring to cover every part of our sculpture's face without leaving any area unpainted. Now we will continue with our shadows, remembering that we will use our terracotta red color from the Vallejo brand. On this occasion, we will paint in the areas with greater prominence, such as the facial details, as well as in the areas where the light has less visibility. This will give our sculpture greater depth and prevent it from looking too flat. Now we will use the blue color from the Vallejo brand. We will apply this color to the beard area of our model. Don't worry if the sculpture looks too dark, as we will blend it later as we combine the rest of the colors. Once the beard of our model is finished, we will continue using the yellow ochre color from the Vallejo brand. We will apply this color in the areas where the light is most visible. This will help us achieve a better finish as the colors blend together. Now we are going to use our pale flesh color from Vallejo. We will use this color to lighten and blend the previously used colors, as well as to further accentuate the areas of light on our sculpture. Skin tones are one of the most complex areas when it comes to painting. To achieve a more realistic finish, we will continue using additional colors until we reach the desired result. With this purpose in mind, we will use the Beastie Brown color from the Vallejo brand. This color will help us highlight our shadows and add even more depth to the face of our sculpture. As you can see, our sculpture is looking much better. I know it's a long and tedious process, but if we want to achieve our goal of painting sculptures more professionally, we need to be patient and, above all, not give up, but always keep practicing. Let's continue with our painting. Now we will use our flesh color from the Airbrush Colors brand again. This time, we will use it to blend our entire painting, but this time we will apply it gently, without spraying too much paint, so that the blending is more compact. To do this, we need to lightly press our airbrush and not spray too much paint. As a final touch before sealing our sculpture with our varnish, we will use the pale flesh color from the Vallejo brand again to lighten and add more brightness and luminosity to our sculpture. As you can see, this is how the face of our sculpture would look. Now it's ready to be sealed with our varnish. We will use the satin varnish from the Vallejo brand. which will help enhance the colors effectively and, at the same time, protect our sculpture. Remember to let it dry thoroughly, as failing to do so could damage all of our painting work. While the face of our character is drying, let's continue with the rest of the parts. In this case, we will paint the cape of our character. To do this, we will first use the black color from the Airbrush color brand to apply shadows before applying our base color. Let's remember to apply it in the areas within the folds of the cape and also in areas where there is less light visibility. We will use the same process on the chest of our character to add more depth and prevent our sculpture from looking too flat, while also highlighting the details that have been previously sculpted. Taking advantage of the fact that we are still using the black color from the Airbrush Colors brand in our airbrush, we will use it as the base color to paint the base of our sculpture. Continuing with our cape, we will use the blue color from the Vallejo brand to paint the entire cape. This will allow us to blend the black color we used previously, and at the same time, achieve a better finish on our sculpture. Now we are going to apply a bit of the white color from the Vallejo brand to lighten and add highlights to the chest part of the suit. We will use the airbrush gently to prevent the white color from erasing all the shadow areas, allowing them to blend together and form a gradient. As you can see, this is how it would look alongside the previously painted cape. Now these two parts are ready to be assembled and, in turn, sealed with our varnish. Continuing with the heads of our character, once they are completely dry, we can protect the paint by applying masking tape over it. This will allow us to paint the areas of the neck and mask of the suit without affecting the previously applied paint. Once our paint is completely protected, it's time to paint the rest of the suit again. We will use the same process as we did when painting the cape, starting with the black color from Airbrush Colors for the shadows. Focusing again on areas of detail such as folds in the suit, areas of body expressions, and where light is less pronounced. Then, we will continue with the blue color from Vallejo, applying it to the entire neck and mask to blend the previously applied shadows and achieve a uniform finish with gradient. Once finished and left to dry, we can remove the tape and observe the final result of our painting. As you can see, the result seems very satisfactory. Now all that's left is to seal it again with our varnish to proceed with the next step. Now we will proceed to paint our character's eyes. To do this, we will use the ivory color from the Vallejo brand and a very fine brush. Additionally, we will dilute this paint with a little water to apply it evenly and prevent the formation of clumps and unwanted brush marks. Once finished with the white color for the eyes on both heads, we would have something like this, but we are not done yet. Continuing with our painting process, we will use the dark flesh tone color from the Vallejo brand and dilute it with water until it is completely liquid. Then, with the help of a thick brush, we will begin to apply it to the face of our character. For this process, we will use a piece of kitchen paper dampened with a little water to remove excess paint and to blend the areas we will be painting. It is essential that our model is fully sealed with varnish and completely dry before starting this process. Otherwise, we could damage all the work done previously. With this color, we will focus on defining the shadows and beard areas even further. This way, we can highlight the details of our model even more. Since the paint is completely diluted and very liquid with water, this will help us prevent it from staining our work, maintaining only a light layer of paint. Additionally, it will allow us to remove excess paint and easily blend it with our paper. Now, using the same process, we will use the yellow ochre color, but on the areas closest to the light, such as the cheeks, forehead, wrinkles, and chin of our character. Remember that using this technique will require applying several layers of paint, so we must be patient until we achieve the desired result. To achieve a better lighting effect, we will apply the pale flesh color from Vallejo as the final layer. We will gently apply this paint to areas such as the cheeks, nose, and facial expressions, using light touches of our brush to allow the paint to blend and mix with the previously applied layers. And this is how the final result of our characters' faces would look. Once satisfied with the final result, we can begin painting the character's eyes before sealing it with our varnish. Now, with the help of a much finer brush, we will use the terracotta red color from the Vallejo brand once again. This time, we will paint the areas inside the eyes, such as the tear ducts and the contours, to make the sculpture look even more natural and professional. Don't worry if you paint too much in the eye area, as having the paint completely liquid will allow us to reapply the ivory color to lighten the eyes again. This will enable the colors to blend, allowing us to achieve a gradient effect. Continuing with the painting of our character, we will again use the black color from the Airbrush Colors brand, diluted with water. With the help of our fine brush, we will paint the eyebrows of our character, removing the excess paint and drawing light lines to form the eyebrows. For the eyes of our character, we will use the blue color from the Vallejo brand again, diluted in water. With our fine brush, we will proceed to paint. For this process, we must be very careful and not rush, as we could paint unwanted areas and damage the rest of the painting. Once finished with the blue color, we will now mix it with a little white. This way, we can use a much lighter shade to apply a lighting effect to our character's eyes, giving them a much more realistic appearance. For this step, we will gently apply it without covering the entire eye, leaving the edges of the blue color we used as a base. Now we would only need to paint the pupils of our character. For this step, we will use the black color from the Airbrush Colors brand again, and with great care, we will give shape to the pupils of the eyes by painting gently. To finish, we will use the white color from the Vallejo brand, but this time we will only paint a small shine in the eyes. This will make the eyes look even more realistic. Now we just need to paint the base of our character. For this, we will use the beige color from the Vallejo brand to paint only those areas. Now, with the Beastie Brown color from the Vallejo brand, we will adopt the dry brush technique. This technique involves removing most of the paint from the brush, leaving it almost dry, and then applying it subtly to the surface. Now we are going to add a bit of moss to our base. For this, we will use 2 shades of green color. The first one is the olive green from Vallejo brand, and then we will use the chartreuse color from Airbrush Colors brand. Now we will use the wash technique for this. We will use the Black Wash FX from the Vallejo brand. With a thick brush, we will apply it all over the base of our character. While the wash is still wet, and with the help of a paper towel, we will remove the excess and, at the same time, clean the areas where we want the paint to be more noticeable. Now, using the neutral gray color from Vallejo, we will once again employ the dry brushing technique on the areas we want to highlight and add more illumination, as well as on areas where we want to create a dirt or weathering effect. Now, as a final touch to give an even more realistic effect to our character's eyes, we will use UV resin and dry it with the help of our UV lamp. With the help of a brush, we will apply the resin on our character's eyes. In this process, it's essential to be very careful not to apply the resin in any other area than the eyes, as when we use our UV lamp, the resin will harden and remain permanently fixed. And this is how the eyes would look with the resin. As you can see, the shine makes them look even more realistic. With this, our sculpture would be completely finished. I know it has been a long and tedious work, but remember that practice is essential if we want to paint better every day. And above all, patience is key. My advice is not to get discouraged and keep moving forward. In advance, I hope you liked the video. If so, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to help me grow even more. Without further ado, enjoy the finished work and see you in the next video.